What's up, everybody? Welcome to SLC Puck. I hope you're all enjoying your Sunday. It's your host, it's your guy, it's me, Austin Facer. You're listening to SLC Puck. Here we are, September 15th. Guess what today is? It's a week away from our first preseason game in Iowa. The Utah Hockey Club will be going through the cornfield, making their way to the ice rink over there at the next to the Field of Dreams. Just I'm kidding, of course. I have no idea if that's where their rink is, but that's how I'm imagining them playing this game in Iowa. I'm picturing Kevin Costner and Ray Liotta, rest in peace, playing catch right next door to the rink. The players will walk through the corn onto the ice. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun. We saw a team representing the Utah Hockey Club on the ice this week at the Rookie Faceoff in LA. We'll talk about that in just a sec. Other news from the week. Clayton Keller, our guy, teases the name, perhaps? And is there another wrinkle to this whole hockey story being built out statewide? Is there a new element going to be introduced in southern Utah? Ooh, I don't know. All this and more ahead on SLC Puck. But real quick, let me show you guys something, okay? I know you guys are getting ready for fall. I know that you're getting ready to bundle up with your lover right next to the fireplace, or to go to stroll through a pumpkin patch, or maybe a cornfield out here in Utah. You know, we have corn mazes here that are a lot of fun. If you're gonna do so, you're gonna need some light outerwear, and I would recommend picking up a sweatshirt from slcpuck.shop. It's a great way to support the show. I got this big logo hoodie right here, $32. It's a screaming deal. It's basically a cost. That's the one I would recommend. I think those really Pinteresty pictures people like to take at the pumpkin patches. Get the whole family in SLC Puck hoodies. Again, I think I said something like this on a previous episode. If you take family pumpkin patch photos with SLC merch on, I'll do something for you. I don't want to make big promises, but if you and your family get the professional quality photographs taken in my merch, I will do something for you. I don't know what it is, but I'll do something, okay? So that's a great way to support the show. Also, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. That'd be terrific. But let's talk real quick. We saw our first look at what the Utah Hockey Club is going to look like on the ice. And I don't mean like player-wise. I mean in terms of the uniforms. The team sent their rookie contingency out to LA to play in the Rookie Faceoff Challenge against a bunch of the other clubs from around the National Hockey League. That's still going on. They're playing one last game tomorrow. We're talking here September 15th on Sunday. They have one last game tomorrow afternoon against Vegas's rookie squad. But they've got two games under their belt, and we've seen the team wearing both the black and the white uniforms, which is pretty cool. And I mean, I think that is probably the big takeaway from these rookie face-off games. I think you're seeing a lot of guys on this team who will never suit up at the professional level. By professional, I mean NHL level. I'm sure these guys will play maybe ECHL. Maybe they'll go to maybe some of them will play in the AHL. It's kind of a long shot for a lot of these guys to end up in the NHL though. And I think the big thing is there's probably like a list of 2 to 3 to maybe 4 guys on this rookie squad that the hockey ops operation wants to get a feel for. I'm talking about guys like Maverick Lamoureux, Cole Baudouin, TJ Gindla, who has not played yet in the rookie face-off, but I'll touch on him in just a sec. But I think more than anything, they just want to see that these guys are progressing well, that they're developing into their bodies, that they're standing out amongst their peers and all that. And I think there's also like an element of leadership that's happening too. I think you've seen them sharing the captaincy with a few different players. You've seen Maverick Lamoureux took the C on the sweater for the first game, and I thought he did a good job of showing some nice leadership. There were some kerfuffles on the ice, and he was standing up for his team and all that, doing what's going to be asked of him at the NHL level, which is great and all that. So that was cool to see. And then I think he was scratched for the second game. I'll be totally honest. I tried tuning into these games. They were hard to watch. Obviously they're being done at the Kings practice facility. So it's like a glorified rec center situation. The big net at center ice across the length of the ice was very distracting, hard to watch. And yeah, they were switching camera angles sporadically, but I mean, it was not a let's just say this: the production quality on that was about as good as the production quality is here at SLC Puck. In fact, my production might be a little bit better, just not to throw shade, but you know, if you watch the games, you know what I meant. The cameras were just herky jerky and all that. It was a little hard to watch, but you know, I did catch a few minutes of the games and all that, and still, it was cool to see like a group of young kids out there. Like those kids are all like very young, like teenagers. Some of them are in their early 20s, but wearing the Utah Hockey Club sweaters for the first time. And that was like really cool to see. I think that was really smart of the NHL to do that. I'm sure they want to get eyeballs on like all the Fanatics, you know, jerseys. They just have that new agreement with Fanatics to make all the jerseys for all 32 teams. So I'm sure they want, you know, people seeing those as much as possible. But I was sort of imagining it playing out sort of like NBA Summer League, you know, how they have like practice jerseys. Some like they're like kind of practice jerseys. They're like halfway between a practice jersey and a game jersey. That's kind of what I was expecting to see. But so the fact that we saw the real game uniforms on ice was like a nice treat, a little unexpected. And again, I thought the black uniforms looked awesome. The white was fine, I thought. But it's the black uniform that, to me, I think sells the look pretty well, and I'm sure they know that as well. So that was a lot of fun to see. But again, I think we saw, you know, a lot of these just like really select like first round draft pick guys like Maverick Lamoureux, Cole Bedouin. You know, those are the guys they really want to see, make sure that they're progressing well, because those are the two guys who are, and T.J. Ginla and maybe Matika as well. Guys who are like closest on their path to being in the NHL. T.J. Ginla has been held out the first two games of this though, and it's they said he's been dealing with a hip injury, and he was listed as day-to-day. But I wonder if what they're going to do for Monday's game. And this is I don't know anything, so this is not me reporting. But I wonder if they're going to say, "Listen, Teach, you're here with the team. You're in LA. You know, you don't have to risk it all. You know, don't go crazy on your hip. Don't go throwing hip checks. You know, on these Golden Knights boys. You know, but get out there in the uniform. Yeah, we're going to put the C on you too. Yeah, I think that'll be good for the camera." I mean, I'm sure the hockey ops guys don't care that much about, you know, the marketing of the team, but, you know, if I was in charge, I'd say, yeah, let's get you out there, Teej. Let's throw the captaincy on your sweater and see how that feels, you know, and get you on the ice, get to see how you're feeling, you know. I don't know. It could be kind of fun. I think that might be something to watch for tomorrow. Again, they play tomorrow on at what time is it? At 2:30 p.m., I believe. But let's just run through the dates really quick, because I mean, this is like things are coming so fast. Again, it's the 15th right now. Week from tomorrow, the boys are in Iowa. Again, I have not heard. I admittedly I haven't looked into this too closely. I've just been laughing at it, but I'm not sure why they're playing the Blues in Iowa. I'll have to look into that. But the day after that, the 23rd, which is 8 days away from now, they'll be playing the Kings at the Delta Center, and that'll be crazy. That'll be a lot of fun. I don't have plans to go to that one quite yet, so we'll see. That might change. And then October 5th, they're playing the Colorado Avalanche at the Maverick Center. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I think seeing those guys in that venue is going to be really interesting. So that's when I have circled. I'm kind of watching ticket prices on that to see how it goes. And then October 8th, the big one. That is the big one, the one we're going to remember for the rest of our lives. If they still printed tickets, which they don't, you know, it's the kind of ticket you would frame and put somewhere in your house. Our dad has someone somewhere around here a framed ticket stub from the first ever Utah Jazz game in 1979. Somewhere around here. We love our dad. We miss him so much. But man, sorting through all of his knickknacks has been just the most incredible. I mean, if you think what I have going on back here is a lot of knickknacks and memorabilia, you have no idea what we've had to sort through, especially since you know his death. That's been incredibly time consuming. So if you love, and I'm not saying our dad didn't love us, but if you love your family, what you should really do before you go is get everything tightly organized and at least labeled so we know what you're looking at, because this has been a process to understand, right? But you know, he preserved a lot of great Utah sports history. You know, I'll try to dig up some more stuff to show you. But you know, I think the thing that really will make history for this team will be when they announce the name of the team. more than anything. I think, and it's so funny to watch this play out on social media because I think people are like, so. I mean, we live in an instant gratification society, right? Like we want everything. We want our DoorDash right now. We want our Uber here right now. We want our content, delivered to us instantaneously. And hey, I get it. I'm as much a part of that too. But it feels like people are like really forgetting that this hockey team is not just a 1-year thing. They're not. This isn't the Savannah Bananas who are going to make a quick stop in town before moving on. This is our hockey team. This is our NHL franchise. It's going to be here in Utah. It has to be here for at least 30 years. I believe that's the agreement that Smith Entertainment Group is making with Salt Lake County, Salt Lake City, and all the good folks who are trying to get that stadium revitalization deal done at the Delta Center. They have to be here 30 years. That's part of the lease agreement. So this team is going to be here in 30 years from now. I'll be close to death. I'll be 62 years old. And SLC Puck will still be going strong, by the way. I'm going to do this till the day I die. But people are forgetting. They're like, we got to get the team name. We got to get the team name now. I want to know what it is. I can't believe they blew a chance to make a splash. It's like, okay, just settle down here, folks. Okay. We understand Utah Hockey Club is a temporary name. The real name's coming. I've said it ad nauseum on the show. I want it to be the Utah Outlaws, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Yeti. And you know who else thinks that? Is our guy Clayton Keller. And that was kind of a big headline this week. Clayton Keller, in this article here from NHL.com. Keller ready for super exciting first season for Utah Hockey Club. That's a good way of putting it. It is super exciting. Great job, Clayton Keller. But continuing on, right here up in the lead of this story, I know a lot of people out there aren't big on reading, and I get it. But right here, early on in the story, right by the lead, you'll see what I'm talking about here. It's from Mike Zesberger, who's NHL.com staff writer. Dateline is Vegas. Asked if he has a suggestion for the name of the fledgling Utah Hockey Club, Clayton Keller seems to have an idea of what it might end up being. Ooh. It sounds like it's going to be the Yeti. But I don't know, the forward said at the NHL North American Players Media Tour on Wednesday. We'll see what happens. Whatever they choose, I think it'll be a good one. It's just part of the excitement of being a part of something new. Ooh. So at this point, who has said that it's going to be the Yeti now? GMBA, General Manager Bill Armstrong, who I have a man crush on. That's been well documented. Me, I've said that, and I'm always right about everything. And now 3, Clayton Keller, and that's 3 of the most influential people in the Utah hockey scene right now, in no particular order. I think if that, or I think if we were to order them, I have a hunch I would be 3rd on that list. That's just a guess. I don't know. You sound off in the comments. Maybe I'm wrong, but there you go. I think let's just stop the charade right now. Can we please? I mean, when you look at the color scheme, Yeti makes the most sense. I really would prefer them to just pivot totally away from these colors. I think that's kind of too late at this point. I think people really like them. I wish they would do something like Wild West themed, be the Outlaws, but it's gonna be Yeti, guys. We are if GMBA and Clayton Keller and Austin Facer are telling you it's gonna be Yeti, there's a good chance it's gonna be Yeti, right? And so I want people to really calm down on social media and stop having anxiety attacks over the name of the team. The fact that it doesn't have a name year one. Sorry, this all happened really fast. We're sort of flying by the seat of our pants. Want to make sure we do it right, go through all the legal loopholes, get a good logo, get all that. Sorry, you're going to buy a couple more shirts that say Utah Hockey Club on them. Those are going to be fun keepsakes, all that stuff. But this, again, remember, this team is going to be here for the long haul. It's so important that they nail this branding, that they announce it in a big way. They do something to make a splash. That is uber important. I've talked on the show so many times about how the Utah Jazz have been stuck with a horrible name for 50 years. And now there's nothing they can do about it. And I think that the Jazz brand is very weak as a result of a bad name. And so I think they need to absolutely nail this. And it seems like Yeti makes a lot of sense. I get it. I wonder, though, if we're going to see the announcement come together in like a big, interesting way. And again, I'm just kind of trying to aggregate all the news here for you guys. I don't know if you guys caught this. This is something my guy Ryan Miller tweeted out earlier this week. The J-Note statue outside the Delta Center is being slightly moved to make room for a hockey edition. Details of said edition will be announced later. Okay, let's zoom in on this picture that Ryan took. Great job, Ryan. Great photographer. If you're not familiar with the Delta Center, you may not understand what's happening here. This is they call the Jazz logo the J-Note because it's a note, it forms a J, and there's a basketball in there. You get it. But it's right in front of, it's right in that opening, right by the main entrance to the Delta Center right there. And so, I mean, this whole thing is going to have to be totally redone when the arena project comes together anyway. But it looks to me like they want to do something fun and cheeky out front by the front door. And so this note is kind of on this raised platform right here. So I drove past the other day. It looks like they've sort of demolished this platform and might be building a second one next to it. Room for a second logo, I imagine. I wonder what we're going to see there. It'll probably come up really fast. It might be just the generic Utah Hockey Club logo, just the circular thing. It might be the word mark. It might be all that. Or is this an opportunity to reveal a Yeti head logo or something? I don't know. I mean, that could be kind of fun. I mean, we here's the thing. We haven't heard anything from like the brass on this thing. We haven't heard from Ryan Smith talking about this in quite some time. He hasn't hopped on the Pat McAfee show in a minute, as far as I can tell. I wonder if this is how they want to do it in a big way, take up physical space and all that. Again, I don't know anything. I'm just sort of thinking it's interesting. And I mean, are they going to just spend the money on a temporary little logo statue, Utah Hockey Club statue that, is going to have to be replaced with the real deal logo next year? I don't know. Maybe they're willing to do that. I mean, I don't know. We'll just have to see. But I would keep an eye on this physical space right here in front of the Delta Center because that seems pretty interesting to me. And we'll again, it would be kind of fun. I think it's something that again is out in physical space. People can go up to it and take selfies with the logo, all that. It could be a fun way to roll it out. We'll just have to see what happens. But I always kind of imagine they would like just play out this first year and, sell as much Utah Hockey Club merch as they can, with the temporary word mark and all that. And then next year, really ramp it up with the full-blown look, add purple into the equation as I predicted, because there really are no NHL teams that have purple in their logo right now, if you think about it. So it's kind of up for grabs. So I that's another reason why I think that Utah will pick up purple into its color scheme. But anyway, I would keep an eye on the space. I don't know anything. I just think it's kind of interesting, and we're here to speculate on SLC Puck, and this is me giving you the news and also my little spin on it, right? And that's what I've been doing from day one. And there's a new wrinkle that's been thrown into one of my theories, and I have a lot of theories on here. And if I could just ask my production assistant to hand me my tinfoil hat here, because I'm about to go off on another. And yeah, I got a haircut. What do you think? I have another conspiracy theory, okay, that's happening, all right? And again, this is just so you know that I'm getting into theory time. Okay, for months now, I have suspected that the Maverick Center and the Utah Grizzlies are going to be a major part of what happens in the next year or two with the Utah Hockey Club. Right now, we know the Grizzlies are the ECHL affiliate of the Colorado Avalanche. They're on the last year of their contract with them. The Utah Hockey Club signed a 1-year ECHL agreement with the Allen Americans. 1 year, huh? Kind of interesting. So and right now their AHL affiliate is the Tucson Roadrunners, which is still owned by the former owner of the Coyotes, Alex Marullo, and I'm sure they want to break the tie there as quickly as they possibly can. And I think there's rumors that team down there in Tucson is going to be looking for a new home, possibly in Reno. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So my theory has always been for the last few months that Smith Entertainment Group is going to purchase the Utah Grizzlies and the Maverick Center and move the Utah Grizzlies up to the AHL to serve as the AHL affiliate to the big league club, right? I think that theory has held a lot of weight, right? I really do. I think there's something to it. But there was a news story today that I think adds a new wrinkle. I'm not sure it's being talked about the way it needs to be, okay? And it's kind of hard to find because it's behind a paywall in the Salt Lake Tribune. And because I have a subscription to the Salt Lake Tribune, I am willing to share the information with you. And I think this is very interesting here, okay? I can see right now the camera's getting a little glitchy, so stick with me, guys. Stick with me. I'm going to switch the screen over here. Audio should still be working, but stick with me here, guys. Okay, look at this. Another $1 billion Utah Stadium project is asking for taxpayer money. Very interesting. And let's see here. A Black Desert official says the Ivins Resort already has a sponsor for a bill to be introduced next year. Very, very interesting. Let's dive a little deeper here, okay? So here is the here's the theory right here, okay? So Black Desert Resort, if you're not familiar with it, it's like a brand new golf resort that's in St. Ivins, which is by St. George, Utah, southern Utah. It's hosting a PGA tournament in October, so this place is going to be on the map in a big way. Apparently, the developers there, the ownership, wants to build a stadium there as well, an arena that could host a minor league hockey team, NBA preseason games, the Utah Jazz's G League team, concerts, and other events. It's a bill that could cost. It's a project that could cost up to $2 billion. They're going to take it to the state legislature to ask for funding. It already has sponsorship from a state senator in Layton, so it has some northern Utah support as well. This would really put a wrinkle into my theory about the Maverick Center in a big way. I think it's interesting to note this. Black Desert Resort, the team that's pitching this bill, they have probably a very lucrative partnership with the Utah Jazz and the Utah Hockey Club right now. I don't know if you've seen their billboards, but just about every billboard I've seen driving down I-15 with a Black Desert Resort ad on it also has a Utah Jazz logo and a Utah Hockey Club logo on it. So they're clearly in bed with each other, right? There's something going on. I think that this is interesting, and I wonder if we'll see this come to fruition, especially if this already has some legislative support. Imagine what would happen, to my theory, if this did go through, if this funding did happen, and they did build this new state arena down there in southern Utah. I think that's something I could see Ryan Smith and the hockey guys really liking, really having some kind of footprint in southern Utah. I think that expands the brand of both the Utah Jazz and the Utah Hockey Club. It makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of those guys like to golf. I don't think any of them would really hate spending training camp in St. George every year, where they can golf a little bit as well. I could see this being something that maybe Ryan Smith and the other folks involved in that group could get on board with and support. And so I don't know things. This is just conspiracy theory. I wonder if this is going to happen. I think this is a story we're gonna watch closely at SLC Puck, and I think it's interesting to note that like St. George is like a very like budding town. I remember growing up, we just thought it was like the place where like old people lived and stuff, which is still true to a certain degree, right? But I think there is like a very like growing community there, and a lot of those people are going to be into hockey. A lot of those people are going to want a place to play. I'm fairly certain there is not an ice rink in in St. George right now. And this is going to be crazy too. This is how it all kind of loops together. There is a new rink in Cedar City, and they've decided to name, and this has no as far as I can tell, they have no affiliation with Smith Entertainment Group. I think they're just being cheeky. They've decided to name their youth hockey program the Junior Yeti. Isn't that kind of interesting? I don't think that's been sanctioned by the Utah Hockey Club, by Smith Entertainment Group, but they've decided to name their hockey. So anyway, point being, in southern Utah, there's like definitely an appetite to get on board with what's happening with the Utah Hockey Club up here in Salt Lake City. So this is going to be a story to watch for sure. I wonder what's going to happen if maybe they do acquire the Grizzlies. In that case, I don't know what happens to the Maverick Center, but do the Grizzlies end up playing in southern Utah in a few years? I don't know. This is kind of interesting. It's kind of fun to see how it all evolves. And we'll be here for it every step of the way. Again, hey, let's wrap it up for today. It's been a good show. We got A week to go, folks. Holy freaking heck. Isn't this crazy? I can't believe how fast this has gone by. This is episode 41, by the way. And thanks for your support every step of the way, by the way. I appreciate that. But we're here. It's like here. We're on the doorstep. By this time next week, we're going to be talking about the preseason game in Iowa. And maybe I'll come up with a cool way to cover it. I don't know. I'm still kicking around some ideas. But if you like the show, go to slcpuck.shop, get some merch to wear around town for your family photo shoots, all that good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more. And we love you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk soon.